going to discuss about Elastic File System. Why Amazon Web Services use Elastic File System instead of NTFS file system, extension file system. What is the main purpose of Elastic File System? Why Elastic File System is very useful in Amazon Web Services. Let us start. EC2 instance. We are all know about EC2 instance. EC2 instance is nothing but a one server. If we create one EC2 instance, they create a one server. If we create a one server, then they need a storage. Without storage, we cannot create a EC2 instance or a server. So, for that, Amazon EC2 instance, AWS provides 4 types of storage. First, Amazon EFS, that is nothing but the Elastic File System. Then, instance storage, that is useful to store multiple instances. Then, Amazon EBS, Elastic File System. And finally, Amazon S3. Then, before going to discuss about Elastic File System, we must know about what is file system. Why file system is useful in Amazon services. First, we see how file system is work. In simple language, a file system is nothing but a simple tool, program or software which is responsible for managing file in an operating system or in a cloud. In our operating system, we are all know about Windows operating system, Linux operating system, in which a file system is used, that is NTFS file system and extension file system. File system that take the multiple input or multiple file in operating system, and based on the format they are separate, so that file system is nothing but a program that is responsible for controlling how to store and retrieve data in operating system. So each group of data is called a file, and the structure and logic rule is to manage the group of information, and their name is called a file system. So we are going to discuss Elastic File System. Here some example of operating system: Windows 7, Windows 10, Arch Linux, Windows XP, Windows NT. That operating system use a file system depend on the organization. Windows 7 use NTFS file system, which recognize only some specific format. Like that, Linux use extension for format. Here we see the last example, Windows XP, that use a NTFS as well as FAT32 system. So Windows XP is better than that. So because if you want to share a multi data from one operating system to another, there is no need to same format. We can easily send or receive data in different operating system. Like that, in a cloud, if you want to share data from different instances, that's nothing but a server. From different server, we want to share a data from one instance to another. It must to be a same format. That's nothing but the same file system. But in AWS provides Elastic File System, which is different than other file system. Let us consider one example. When we have an application that requires multiple virtual machines, means we create a multiple virtual machines and we want to share a data, share a file system at the same time. Then Amazon Web Service Elastic File System is useful for that, for sharing data from a different instances. Let us consider one instance is Windows 7 and second instance is a Linux. Amazon Web Services provide a elastic file system is used to share a data between different instances. So, by the way, S3 is a simple storage and it neither be alternative to network file system. S3 is not a file system. EFS, Elastic File System, is a network file system. In a window, we know NTFS, FAT32 are the file systems that are used. When multiple companies use NTFS file system and some use FAT32, depend on their usage and requirements. Like that, Amazon use EFS file system as well as Gluster file system. This is an open source alternative for Elastic file system. Then, creating the Elastic file system, it is a very easy way provided by AWS with the help of console or with the help of command line interface. Then, the replication of a file between multiple availability zones in a region is ensured automatically by Elastic file system. When we create a one Elastic file system by a technical problem or sometime interrupted by an event that fails the storage. So at that time, Elastic file system is automatically copy or replicate itself in a availability zone in the same region. In an Elastic file system, we can decide on a security group, that is, which EC2 instance could have access to Elastic file system, since Elastic file system support user and group read, write and execute permission. Work and security group could be integrated in AWS AIAM. And also Elastic file system support encryption technique.